Hey everyone, this is HighZealot here with my E3 report of the Winter 2016 event. So, looking at the equipment right now, you can easily tell that E3 for Operation Rei-Go is a combined fleet, and it also involves the transporting operation that we've seen in the previous event. So, like the transport operation before, you will want to bring barrels on destroyers, light cruisers, and landing craft, and as this is a combined fleet, you're going to want all your destroyers in the main fleet with barrels. And you can also see this this map also takes another mechanic of multiple starting positions. So a transport fleet starts over here, which has a completely different boss in the combat phase itself, because you can probably tell that once the transport gauge is done, then you're going to have an actual HP killing the boss phase, which is going to be significantly different than this. So you can see here, so for this phase, what I primarily did is, on my main fleet, I had Hilga and Issei to pretty much to act as aviation battleships for the recommended composition I saw in the English wiki, and then I brought the destroyers who had the highest evasion at the time, largely due to their level and Chinese, mostly levels I think. So if I didn't have this many elite and tiny destroyers, then they would probably end up becoming someone like Inazuma, because she's I believe at this time she should be level 80, so compared to the other just Kai destroyers, she however has pretty high evasion just from levels alone. Other than that though, as I said previously, all my destroyers have, on the main fleet, has barrels. On the escort fleet, well, Abukuma has landing craft, but I also like to equip her with a midget sub just for that open torpedo, which may or may not do much. Sometimes does stuff, sometimes does not. It's better than nothing. Better have a chance than no chance at all. And then the rest of my destroyers were pretty much just equipped with weapons and guns. I don't believe I have any anti-submarine equipment, because the boss for the transport gauge is, well, not a submarine. I'll say that ahead of time. Though there is 2 submarine nodes. So this fleet specifically with the 2 aviation battleships, actually I believe, not sure if it's because of the aviation battleships, because the branching rules aren't exactly explained in the English wiki that I'm looking at right now. But I presume the idea is the aviation battleships give you a better chance to kill S-rank the boss node to maximize your TP gain, but also sends you to all the nodes. So you saw on the map there were a number of nodes before the boss. There is nodes A, B, C, D, and G, and the fastest route would be to not go to C. But as you're seeing very quickly after this battle, what sort of route this one takes. And then you have the aviation battleships who do their jobs there. Well, by that I mean that's probably the reason why they go there. This transports around, I believe, the current fleet I'm using with, as I know, I believe it has 11 barrels, because I only have 11 barrels, and then 2 landing craft, and the set basic amount, I believe, gives 81 TP on A rank, and S rank gives a lot more, significant more for self-explanatory reasons, and I think it goes over 100 something, so it's pretty useful. You can get an S rank. I don't get any S ranks in the footage that I'm showing, but this fleet is capable of getting an S rank on the boss node. It just so happened to not get an S rank on the first or final sortie on the transport phase of the boss with this map. So let's talk about the actual operation itself. So E3 is called Operation Sho-Go 4. Yes, you say Sho-Go Yo or something. So I believe, if I recall correctly, there's multiple ways to say numbers, but let's not go into that. And the actual operation, according to the Oyudo dialogue translation, is pretty much intercepting an enemy assaults, who is assaulting pretty much us. And we're just intercepting them, and it involves transports to So we're transporting resources to what is apparently a base in the north, which is Anchorage, and afterwards then we can fight the boss after we, I guess, set that base up, and then we probably use that base as a way of assault or intercepting. As you saw that node I just did, that was node C, and it's an air node, which is as previous as you saw in E2, is pretty much land-based bombers come to try and bomb the hell out of you, and the best you can do is intercept and shoot down bombers. And that's pretty much it. Those nodes arguably, honestly, just like the air battle nodes, are arguably not a threat at all, provided, I mean, I don't even without air superiority for these nodes, they don't seem to have a very high hit rate. I did bring Akisuki for AAA purposes just because of the that node, and she may and may not have been necessary. And also, since it's a combined fleet, you can bring a fleet command facility, which is arguably always recommended, because even every time you go to the boss, that's a chance to kill the boss, even if it's a low chance, and you pretty much miss every shot you don't take. Of course, you can argue there are circumstances where you won't use it, but you do always want to bring it. But sometimes, let's say someone gets knocked in red in the first node, it's also destroyer, so that's 2 destroyers to have to be executed back, 1 in green and the actual 1 in the red. So arguably in those situations, if it's the first node, you may as well not do it because you're probably gonna have to retreat later anyways, and then you can afford the morale loss, which my way to deal with the morale loss is to send them alone to 5-3, because I still haven't completed 5-3 after this many years, and then afterwards just bucket them. I don't send them to 1-1 because I don't really want to deal with more ship drops. You know, I can just use them for modernization or scrapping. Yeah. So this is the submarine node. Submarine nodes are your standard submarine nodes. They're either in, I believe, yeah, they're either echelon or line abreast. On both submarine nodes can be either one. And echelon arguably seems, at least to me, always felt like they hit more often than line abreast, but either way they have really low accuracy, so it's pretty much just hope you get lucky. You don't get lucky, you use fleet command facility, and then you just go to the boss anyways. Because all your barrels in your main fleet anyway, so they're not gonna get hit by any torpedoes, so your barrels are safe, and Abukuma is probably the flagship, so flagships cannot get sunk, including the second fleet. So you do not have the option to even escort the main fleet, the escort fleet flagship back, and they will never ever sink. So that is a mechanic taken mind of, though. I wouldn't be surprised in future events if they change it so that if your second fleet flagship gets some Taihad, I wouldn't be surprised if one day they change it so you'll be forced to retreat, kind of like your main fleet flagship got some red major damage Taihad, whatever you want to call it. Because I mean, in the past they didn't have the mandatory retreat anyways, so pretty much you could do things like put a submarine as your flagship and they just soak up all the damage from destroyers and light cruisers, and you never have to worry about them sinking because they're the flagship. So yeah, this is the boss node though. You have the destroyer princess, she's back, and then you also have some other stuff. And other than that though, it's pretty much your battleships are gonna do some major part of doing the A rank. You need to kill at least 4 out of 6. S rank, you kill all of them. B rank, well, you don't get transport for B rank, but that's doing like, I believe, 2.5 more damage than they did, but B rank doesn't really help you. It doesn't make it less of a disappointment. But yeah, pretty much aviation battleships are going to be doing most of the hard work in sinking at least 4 of them, and then you ideally want to go to a night battle and hopefully kill the boss and get an S rank, but in some situations it's arguably, because right now here you can see Haguro and Udatsu, the only one left who can attack a night battle, and too much low chance of getting an S rank. But if assuming you do events like I do, you have a butt ton of resources so that you do not have to worry about the slightly more ammo usage from going to night battle. So in these situations, there's arguably nothing to be lost from going to night battle on the boss. There can only be potential gain, unless everybody's tied or there's 0% chance to get an S rank. But as long as there's a chance to go from a B rank or lower to A rank, or higher, or A rank to S rank, then there was situation 1 to go to night battle, for sure. And you can see here I'm cutting straight to the boss this time, because this video, you can see it's pretty long, so I'm trying to cut out a lot of the useless information, that useless footage that you've arguably already seen, because we've already seen nodes A, B, C, D. It's the same fleet, no differences whatsoever. I didn't even get rid of some barrels when I didn't need them, because I'm a lazy buff and arguably it doesn't really matter. I haven't mentioned this yet in this set of videos, but for a transport gauge, you do not have to kill the boss, you only have to A rank the node, and then you just deplete the transport gauge, and then you win. Set up the next phase. Now Akitsuki also, another reason why you could say you could bring she's useful to have here is because of the light carrier on the boss node itself, but afterwards it's from that, it's just kill 4, kill let's say a torpedo both torpedo cruiser, both destroyer, you're done. You don't even have to go to night battle, but there may be some good drops from the boss. The boss node is node S. Node S. Drop, well, significant drops is Mario, which is arguably always useful, significant just because of the luck, and then she also dropped Prince Eugene. It's also a pretty good drop because she's the German heavy cruiser, and everybody, I think she's pretty cute. So she's another thing to hunt for. Akitsuki also drops Noki Okinami, which is I believe the new destroyer, which was introduced in this event, and she's the trophy you gotta hunt for. You can also get Akitsushima, but other than that, that's all the significant drops that you can't craft. There's also some rare drops that you can craft, like Sukaku, I guess. That's one thing. You don't want to get her elsewhere. That's node. So that's the significant drops on node S, and we assuming kind of significant on the boss as well. Also, significant drops in the next phase is I also went to night battle here because no real, arguably not just a waste of resources. Yeah, since I'm talking about ship drops anyway, I might as well say what else it says, because the wiki English wiki only has drops for node L and node T, which I presume is the node. Yeah, node T must be the boss, but node L is the pre-boss node from the Sulfur pre-boss node. The significant drops on that pre-boss node is Graf Zeppelin, the German carrier, which was never actually finished completion. And before I continue onwards, well, gonna be entering the combat phase of this map about in a few seconds, so I might as well change subjects for a bit before I go back to drops. So you can see here 2 light carriers, that we get, and then 4 battleships. This is a surface fleet. Surface fleet, you can either bring 2 light carriers or one standard carrier. Bismarck fast battleship and your standard go. And for maximum cut-in damage, this map has no restrictions on torpedo cruisers whatsoever. You can bring 3 torpedo cruisers maximum, because there's only 3 torpedo cruisers in the game. So right now, basically the fleet I'm using right now with 2 light carriers, you can get air superiority on all the nodes. I think that also includes the airbound nodes, which happen in both routes. So you can see that was an active branching node. So currently, before the final kill, I recommend you go east instead of south, because it's easier supposedly to get to the boss. But then afterwards, on the final kill, well, you want to take a different route, because then it's shorter, so less resources used, which means you have more ammo for the boss, which means less damage debuff, less evasion debuff, and then I believe also all the nodes get buffed as well. I think I'm not 100% sure on that, so do not quote me on that. So yeah, right now here, this fleet can get maximum air not air supremacy, but they can get air superiority on all the nodes, including the boss node, which on hard, when it's not the final kill formation, can either include a aircraft carrier princess, or it can just use a I believe light cruiser Su class. But other than that, there's nothing other than that to add though. So I might as well get back to drops. So as I was talking about the drops on the pre-boss node on the southern one, and that single can drop there. I already mentioned we have Zeppelin who can drop on that node. Other drops include Taige, that's the submarine tender, Maru for luck, Lipiki, the Italian destroyer whose name I cannot pronounce. And those are the significant drops on the pre-boss node on the southern one, and on the boss node herself. Significant drops is some trophy destroyers from such as Nowaki, Akisuki, Okinami, Prince Eugene with a question mark. So arguably this Ian.wiki, it's arguably does not have as much content as Wiki, but I still prefer this wiki instead of that wiki. Arguably, Wiki is the best source that you can use, and Google Translate works well enough. So arguably I should be using that enough, because that one is also better for, I feel like personally it's better for air superiority, because numbers, you don't even need Google Translate to look at the air superiority numbers. And then yeah, pretty much the same as the pre-boss node, the boss node, the pros node from the transport gauge. Don't really know both words, but yeah, it's a submarine node. One thing to know is only this route, the eastern route, has a submarine node. The southern route does not have a submarine node. So yeah, the fleet I'm taking is just so far. So submarine node is your standard. You wanna hope you can knock as many of them. Well, first of all, the opening phase, you hope they don't hit. Then you try to knock as many of them into orange, so you have to roll less dice. Like pretty much all submarine nodes, I believe they can be either echelon or line or breast, which I already mentioned that one is arguably more difficult to hit, survive than the other, but they're both relatively low chance to hit regardless, so pretty much just gotta get lucky. Now, like the transport gauge, I will always bring a fleet command facility, even on the final kill, because, well, you miss every kill you don't try. So even if, let's say, now can you even escort 4 of your escort fleet? Well, let's say the maximum number if possible, I can escort it back. You can still kill the boss. You just gotta get lucky. So we're about to go into the what you would think is a potential pre-boss node, but really, I'm not sure what sort of formation you need to go from node N to node T, but the one I'm using goes from node N to node Q. Also, should have mentioned this earlier, but starting position for this is because of picking a surface fleet. A carrier fleet will start in the southwest part of the map, and those formations there is arguably tougher to deal with. Formations includes, well, I don't think it's, let's see, not sure if they're really going, just not really specified. Let's see, is H specified? Node H. No, pretty much none of the nodes are specified in English, Ricky. But trust me when I say, even though I've never done it, trust me when I say the nodes there are arguably harder, and then killing the boss is another thing as well. So you can see here, the pre-boss node for this eastern part contains 1 battleship princess, and arguably I was kind of surprised when I could reliably S-rank this node, even though there was a battleship princess, which raised confidence for the boss node, which you'll see returns of some old enemies, old design ideas that the devs like to do. Another thing to note with equipment that you saw in the start of the battle phase is that Italia has the American gun, and then I believe some other whatever best gun I have that raises the most accuracy. Nagato has just plain old 51cm guns for maximum firepower, and then Yamato's. Right now they're equipped with 46cm cannons, but really, what you for Yamato class battleships on a combined fleet, you don't want to put them with both 240. You don't want to equip them with 246 guns and a AP rank, because you're surpassing the damage cap. You wanna equip them with 46 guns for firepower, but then like something like the 38cm Kai gun that Bismarck has. Well, I think it came with Bismarck. I don't remember. I have two of them, but it came from somewhere, and they provide one of the best accuracies in the game so far. So you want to equip them that for the accuracy. And oh yeah, the air battle node is this node. That's the pre-boss node. The previous node is not the pre-boss node, but the node before this node, which arguably is not a threat at all. You just pick their equivalent, the pretty much equivalent diamond formation here, and proceed to not deal with any damage at all. I mean, I think once it may have knocked someone down, but then you have fleet command facility, which hopefully you be able to use. Though if there are situations where you won't be able to use them, such as the other destroyers in orange, or both of your destroyers in orange, and then you gotta go home, try again. Yeah, like I said, not a threat at all. Easy node, easy life, and then you go to the boss. So that was that node, and then we're on to the boss node, which is, you're about to see, it's a bit of a doozy, but it's what we've come to expect from the devs. And then she also says stuff that you want to listen to. Say hello to the heavy cruiser princess, who really does look pretty cute. But yeah, so she is a heavy cruiser with stats of a battleship like all bosses. And you can see here, we got the return of Yorktown and two battleship princesses. Arguably, I think that devs really like using two battleship princesses for this stuff. Which arguably, I mean, it sort of works. It's proven to be work in the past, but yeah. So which is why the S ranks from the previous Node N, I believe it's a Node N, I think it's Node N, that was able to S rank, does give confidence here that you'll be able to sink at least one of them, but theories usually do not always end up working what you expect in actual practice. So yeah, this is pretty much the return of Yorktown. You arguably want to have fader power to get air superiority on this boss node. When you are not on the final kill, you can also have a true light clues. I believe I mentioned this before, but I'll repeat it again. You may not have Yorktown as a potential enemy on this boss. You may have a different enemy. But other than that, it's pretty much you want to hope that the two destroyers are dead, and you really do want to hope that they either sink Yorktown or one battleship Hime, which I'm kind of using Princess and Hime interchangeably. Though for consistency's sake, I think I'm going to be trying to use princesses. Just use princess from now on. So maybe Hime. I'll figure it out later. But yeah, you want to kill one of the princesses, Hime's, and both destroyers. Arguably, what the best outcome here would kill that other battleship Hime, but what can you do? Beggars can't be choosers. So killing the boss is arguably not that difficult when you're not on the final phase, because it's really, you can pretty much kill the other stuff not that hard, and then your destroyers and Kitakami and then Or can proceed to murder everybody else in the best cases. Of course, the best cases do not always work out or appear when things like this happen, which is an unfortunate situation, because in all the footage I have in this video, Kitakami just gets knocked to red before she gets to do anything in a battle. Yeah, spoilers, that also kind of happens in the final kill. So, final kill. The final attempt, I kind of was experimenting because trying to kill the boss was proving a bit difficult for me because I just couldn't kill the boss. So that was mostly, I guess that was a case of me not getting lucky, because with luck, killing the boss is not hard because you just gotta get that torpedo cut in. So you can see here, taking the 7th round, we have the same battleships, but this time around we're taking Maya with an AA cut in, and Kaga, which is pretty much all fighters, and a Siren for the no red for no red T-cross and air superiority on the boss, but no bombers. It's something that I think most people would arguably disagree with, but I just wanted to try it out because you cannot bring 2 standard carriers, or you cannot bring a standard carrier and a light carrier. It's a surface fleet does not work like that. So this is pretty much the best. Maya probably may not have been the best choice I could have had. Probably maybe someone else would have been better. Someone for firepower, because arguably her AA did not really make that big of a difference in the end. So going for more firepower, someone let's say like Chokai or pure shell and damage may have been the better decision, but it did, as you can see that since I'm showing it, things did work in the end. So yeah, you can see here, 7th route, first node includes 2 battleship remakes. I think when you're not on the final kill, it's not always going to be 2 of them, but I think on the final kill it's always going to be 2 of them. But yeah, it's pretty standard. I think I may have S-ranked this node before, but that's largely because you're not gonna have any damage or evasion penalties from ammo and fuel at this point yet. But I believe I have S-ranked this node before, and theoretically, even if I haven't, it's possible because you just need some good scout cut-ins, scout plane cut-ins from your battleships, who theoretically can do lots and lots of damage to even the battleship teammates. So that's the first node in the 7th route, which is the route you do want to take on the final kill. Afterwards we have node I. Node I is also your standard air land bombing node, which I don't really have to say anything about. It's your standard. You're pretty much gonna do fine regardless of whatever happens. It's just like not really any difference that's even any point to mention in from the other nodes. Maybe it is possible to have to deal with 3 airfields, but even then they don't really seem to do that much against you. And afterwards you have node L. There is no submarine node, so that arguably might be better. Node L, however, includes 2 battleships, not battleship Himeis, but the Rue class battleships with the blue eye glow, and they are arguably very powerful because I believe some situations they can one-shot a Yamato class battleship at times if you get unlucky. So that's one reason why 7th round is harder, but it's shorter, which means less fuel, less ammo used up, which means better chance of killing boss. So since I've talked all I pretty much can about the pre-boss nodes, so let's talk about the boss herself. So before the final kill, her stats is well, she has pretty much standard 350, 160, just pretty much. I said those numbers, but pretty much instead of saying numbers, I'm gonna say in all forms. She has a significant amount of HP. You'll see on her final kill she's gonna have, I believe, 390 HP. But the biggest thing to note is her firepower is significant amount. It's equivalent of pretty much a Yamato class battleship with equipment. And then she also has torpedoes as well. She also has a lot of armor, almost 200 armor. So she is quite the damage dealer. And then she also has the luck to cut in and napel. So she is a very deadly boss. Does lots of damage in both day and night. And she since she's a heavy and her torpedo attacks in the torpedo phase of battles also does quite a significant amount of damage when at times as well. So she's a big damage dealer, so not much about other than that. She's your standard boss. Pretty much she looks cute for an abyssal, and she hits like a truck, like all bosses. So it's your standard hard final map boss, except she does not have planes. So that's the one thing. She just, and by planes I mean she does not have fighters or bombers. She probably has scout planes, seaplane scouts, probably. But yeah, and that also you're gonna see that her art changes on the final kill as well. Any second. Yeah. Also, I just kind of just clicked through the dialogue there because I wanted to see it after enough attempts. And and on all pretty much on all hard mode final maps, you will be wanting to bring boss support because the boss support can take out those. If you're lucky, they'll take out those 2 destroyers before the actual battle starts. Or unfortunately, in many situations, they don't. And arguably, you could say they haven't done much at all. And then that was also the sound effect for when those expeditions come back. So an expedition has come back, but yeah, so not exactly the best timing because I could have waited for them to come back before doing this, but other than that, let's talk about. So you saw there, my formation here. I should have talked about. I would have talked about this earlier if I remembered, but managed to talk about this next. Our escort fleet formation is different than what I had before. I took away Bismarck because arguably Bismarck, she can be on the escort fleet and she can do damage, but she's more likely to be end up being used as a tank. And I really right now want to go for full damage, so that I brought Kiso along, and I decided to put Kitakami on the second slot in the hopes that she does not get put to red before she gets to even try to do a cut-in. That's the theory. Unfortunately, it did not work out, and Kitakami is tied again. This time, she is not gonna be doing any clutch kills. Now, I was using Kanko Fever's battle report to plug in, and arguably I couldn't. I didn't want to watch me fail. Have to watch them fail. I'd rather just find out beforehand if it's gonna fail and succeed. And I saw it succeeded. So my first thought was, with these HP, must have been Yukikaze. What you're about to see right now is a bit different than what I expected. Abukuma cutscene. I didn't actually buff her luck at all, and you're gonna see why I thought it was Yukikaze who did it. Because, well, I was saying now she was the only one in green HP. She was other than Abukuma. She was the only one with green HP, and I just assumed it was her because that's what I assume. But no. Yeah, Abukuma is the one who did the clutch kill, not Kitakami, not Or, not Yukikaze, not Ayanami, but her. So she's back on expedition duty because she can put transport gauge. But if I do get any Maruyu, she probably get it because Kitakami already has, I think, 49 luck or something like that. High enough luck that, well, not she could go even higher, but yeah, I think it's better to invest in her instead because her luck, because she's less likely to be cock blocked by the compass compared to a torpedo cruiser. But yeah, rewards I'll talk about after it shows, but you can see here, you see that you got the Italian plane, 2 medals, and her.
ボンジョールノザラ級従順一番艦ザラです。粘り強さが信条です。提督、よろしくね。
Zara is the Italian heavy cruiser, and then also you get hard metal, and those are the things you get. Zara's gun that she comes with is also a gun that the boss was equipped with, so you can see it graphically. So there was that. With it's pretty much long been confirmed, long gone away from the whole USN is Abyssal to whole the standard Abyssal is us, or we are them. We have become the Abyssal Legion ourselves. I mean, we kind of are. We're slaughtering them by the masses. But yeah, this was Operation Rei-Go, E1, E2, E3, short map, short event. E1, very easy. E2, moderately difficult. E3, final kill is just tough as always because the devs are sadistic. Not much else to talk about this event. The Iowa gun is a nice reward. Everything else, well, this Italian scout plane is probably going to be useful, but everyone else, they may just end up being the equivalent of a trophy ship who will never see much combat unless there's compass rigging. But I'll see you guys for the next event. I'll see you guys then, and good night.